Well, here we are, February 27th. This is departing day, giving the car a initial bath before we hit the road. Can't believe it's finally here, but here we go, kids.
All right, here we go, kids. First tank. First tank. See how many miles to the gallon we get. I'm predicting about 10. We'll take a picture of the odometer here at the start of the trip, and we will log our total current miles. So far we've gone 1.5 miles with no breakdowns.
The first place on this journey was Fort McAllister State Park in Richmond Hill, just an hour south of my house. I chose this just in case I forgot something or if something went terribly wrong right out of the chute. There is a little bar down the street called Fishtails. I went in there once I set up camp and asked if they had live music that evening, and they said they did not. I then asked, would you like live music this evening, and offered to play. They agreed to let me play. I had an absolutely great time. I didn't film it, but I did meet some very cool people, and they became immediate subscribers once I told them my tale, and I hope they follow my journey, and I hope you do too.
Morning. Are you strumming in there this morning? I heard you. Keep at it, bud. I'm walking this 1.3 mile loop around the island, and And man, walking down these trails, I see a lot of potential disc golf holes. If you know, you know.
It always amazes me that you can live in an area for 10, 12 years and never really even know or visit the spots that are just as beautiful as the one I'm sitting at right here.
All right, that concludes day one, leaving Fort McAllister here in Richmond Hill, Georgia. I'd say day one was a success. Got to play fishtails. I got a nice fish dinner out of it. Met a couple friends, and got some drone issues here with my SD card, but that's a whole different animal. We'll figure that out later. Stay tuned, guys. We are on the road to a couple hours to our next destination. So this is a strange one. I'm cruising down 131 trying to get to this weird campsite in Ocala, Florida or something like that. And I run across a sign that says Camping Bluegrass Festival 228 to 31. And I'm thinking, what the hell? Why not? So here I am cruising down this dirt path to some campground with cabins and supposedly some type of bluegrass festival. So there you go, kids. You know, take the options that's presented to you. Giddy up. I think we're coming up on it now. I'm not sure. See what this is all about, kids. Here we go. So now I'm following Miss Caitlin. This wasn't cheap. $50 for the no electricity campsite and $70 for the bluegrass ticket for this evening. But what the F, you know? What the fucking F? Good morning, guys and gals. Well, it got down to 45 degrees last night after a beautiful day, but very clear skies, crisp evening. Um, but got coffee in hand. I found a little splotch of sun here in the oak pasture, and it's supposed to get almost 80 today, so we're gonna warm up really nice. But what a great night. Wandered into this bluegrass festival just because I saw a sign on the road in my travels. Met some great people. They were so nice to me. Everyone come and checked out the car and wanted to know the story. And this is what road trips should be about. And man, I hope every day is as good as yesterday was. And it was so good. I'm actually thinking about staying for day 2. So stay tuned. We'll see what happens. Get up, go to work, make your money, and retire as soon as you can.
On Saturday, one of the food truck vendors came in and fired up a generator that was kind of pointed my way, so I ended up moving camp. As you can see, this oak orchard was massive, and I moved my Chevy way out in the boonies where I could avoid constant questions about the car. So as predicted, I ended up staying another night and went and talked to them, and they didn't even charge me for the second night. Saw some more bluegrass, and at the end of the day, they had a community big ass bonfire, which of course I had to strike my patented pose. Of course, there was some concern of why this was so important to me. Nobody understood that this is a given at one of my bonfires at home. And as you can see here in this next clip, this girl on the left is explaining to her girlfriend, hey, this weirdo is doing some strange scarecrow pose over there. And I ended up having to show them all my pictures from my home bonfire so they wouldn't think I was crazy. So as the night wore on, more drinking, more shenanigans, and there was this gentleman, his nickname was Cowboy Roy, and Cowboy Roy was one of the first guys who approached me when I drove into the place with my car and my rig. He took me under his wing like a brother, fed me, gave me drinks, made sure I was always taken care of. And as these Georgia boys were slowly feeding the fire, Cowboy Roy disappeared. He comes back with a tractor and a front end loader. And as you can tell from my reaction, I'm a little bit inebriated at this point, but damn, this was cool as hell.
Yeah, baby! Fucking A! Fucking Georgia boys, I love this shit.
During the day, I saw this little hippie stage, and after the bonfire, this bluegrass band that played during the day, they basically do like a psychedelic thing. They paint their faces all up and black lights and give people markers, and everybody gets kind of Grateful Deadish out there, and so that goes on, and there's another bonfire, and yeah, it just kept going. Eventually, I limped my ass back to the camper and then proceeded to give a drunken review of the evening's festivities. So, that was one crazy, messed up night. These Georgia boys here in Folkston, I guess, the Bluegrass Festival, big ass bonfire, struck a pose, played some Tyler Childers around the fire, but crazy. I have no idea what time it is. I'm thinking it's got to be pushing 1 a.m. Second night here on a whim, and brushing my teeth obviously before I go to bed. But opportunities sometimes present themselves. And human nature is to decline those opportunities. This was a sign on the side of the road that I decided just to turn left and check it out. And 2 days here, and good time. So what a great couple days. Stumbled into a Bluegrass festival in Folksville or Folkestown or Folksburg or something like that. Damn, 2 days of meeting some really cool people, some pretty intense partying, and some great music. So onward, I got about a 3-hour drive today to get to the next camp, and then after that it's on to St. George's Island to see my buddy Chuck. But it was a good diversion.